With respect to the proposed special session Senate Bill 9011, dealing with requiring any public official to enforce any emergency executive order under penalty of a $10,000 fine. First, the governor has been given too much authority under the Emergency Powers Act. When was the last time the governor actually took a call from a concerned citizen? Representatives and senators do so all the time, or should. The governor is supposed to be an administrator, not the end-all be-all decision-maker for all things Tennessee. The job is to enforce the laws passed by the General Assembly. A side note, there is no provision in our Constitution that calls for the tax-paying individual to instruct our governor, but Article 1, Section 23 does give that charge to the citizen to instruct their representatives. And by the way, who is to say the next governor might not consider firearms ownership a health hazard? We have laws to preclude the confiscation of firearms during an emergency, but how long might court actions take to remedy such an act? The current legislature has refused, through at least the last year and a half, to examine the issue of executive orders. 60 days is too long to give one person the ability to make decisions for the entire state. Not that I think the current administrator is making those calls. It is being done by a team that you and I are not on. Our General Assembly, which is hired to pass laws, should limit that duration to no more than 15 to 21 days. And if the need arises, the administration should call a special session to deal with any longer-term enactments. Keep in mind, the administration called the General Assembly in to vote to give nearly $1 billion to Ford, either directly or through infrastructure improvements. If you can get them together for that, you should be able to for any other emergency. It is their job to produce the laws. What should we do about a local official that does not implement the law? There are several good options. One would be to have the state AG step in as a special prosecutor if someone like District Attorney Funk, it could be construed that this is what spawned the bill in question, refused to enforce a justly enacted public statute or temporary executive order. We're already paying the salary of the state AG. Next, consider allowing private citizens to bring mandamus or injunctive actions against a public official on a claim of malfeasance or nonfeasance of office, basically a claim that the official is refusing or failing to enforce the law or executive order. Earn the money the public is paying them to do their job, which is not to legislate by inaction. It has to be balanced with administrative or prosecutorial discretion, but there's a big difference between whether a specific action is a violation of a law or whether the public official is simply involved in nullification to suit a political feeling. These private actions should allow attorneys' fees awards, statutory damage claims against the government entity of all, and should further be the basis of an ouster claim of the public official guilty for failing to do their duty. Empower private citizens to petition a court for the appointment of a special prosecutor. Consider the existing option, which needs to be strengthened, of allowing private citizens to go directly to a grand jury to seek an indictment of a public official who refuses to enforce a valid state law or executive order. We should have public hearings with input from the people, the rightful masters of government, including published proposed bills so the people know what is coming. Hundreds of bills lined up for consideration without public knowledge is not a good thing. Let the legislature do the job of making public policy. The General Assembly and the administration all need to live by the fact that the legislature makes law and the governor merely implements or enforces it. Article 1, Section 1 of our state constitution says that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. For the advancement of those ends, they have at all times, the people, an unalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper.